Greetings. Every blue moon. Every blue moon. You've heard this phrase. However, you may have never had a person sit you down and explain to you exactly what a blue moon is. Now, before I get into this, I have to give you a brief understanding of time. You see, time is important when it comes to measuring a blue moon. And contrary to popular belief, time is not the clock on the wall. The clock on the wall attempts to mimic time. Time is the movement of the planetary bodies through the sky. That's time. And there's different cycles within time. You have a Mars cycle, you have a Sun cycle, you have a Moon cycle, you have a Venus cycle. You have different cycles. And when you talk about the moon is the swiftest moving body through the zodiac. The moon goes through the zodiac approximately every 29 days. Every 29 days. And I point this out for a reason. I point this out because when you deal with a month, the original definition for month is the measurement from one lunar period to the next. For instance, the measurement from one full moon to the next full moon is a month. That's a month. The measurement from one new moon to the next new moon, that's a month. That's a month. And the problem with happened is with our calendar is we moved from the number 13 and tried to shift to the number 12, which was based on male patriarchy. The number 12 always represented male patriarchy because the man was identified by the number 12 in the mystery school because the man didn't have a physical cycle. Now the male does have a mental cycle. The male has a period, just like the female. And I'll do a video on the male cycle. And I know you're like, what the fuck, Ram Hotep? The male has a cycle. Get the hell out of here. I'm not no woman. Listen, man, you need to know about yourself. The woman came to this planet first, but I'm going to do a video on that, so let's not even go there. So the number 12 became the representation of the male. And the number 13 was represented by the woman because the woman has a period and a cycle. And her cycle is locked into the moon or the lunar cycle. So a woman is supposed to excrement blood or to secrete blood every 29 days. She used to have a period, what you call a period or a cycle, which is locked into the moon. This is important because when you deal with the blue moon, there's a certain way that you define it. You see, a blue moon is not a blue moon because it's blue. That's not why it's a blue moon. It's not blue. It doesn't literally turn blue. It's called a blue moon for another esoteric reason that I'll get into right before I get into the ritual. But first, let me explain to you why it's a blue moon from an astrological point of view. What qualifies the blue moon to become a blue moon so that certain mystical energies are available, because in a blue moon, certain mystical energies are available. There are certain metaphysical energies, certain etheric energies that are located in the blue moon that you cannot get except for once every blue moon. Once every blue moon. You can't get this energy except for once every blue moon. And this just so happens to be the blue moon that's going to bring in the number 13. So that's a whole nother topic. This blue moon brings in the number 13, but I'll get into that in a minute. So there are certain mystical energies that are available during a blue moon. But you have to first know when the blue moon is going to happen and know when the 13th moon happens. And this is the 13th moon. There's a blue moon coming up tomorrow, which is August the 31st. And there's going to be energy available, and that's why I'm giving you a free ritual. There's going to be energy, amazing energy available. And I'm giving you a free ritual, compliments of 13 Signs Astrology, because I thank the people. The people support me. They buy readings from me. They do things for me. So this is on me. This is on me. But first, I got to walk you through it to help you understand what it is. So what qualifies it to be a blue moon is that a moon is supposed to be, there's 12 signs of the zodiac, right? So they're supposed to be, according, I know a lot of you might not understand this if you're not astrologically astute, but the moon, there should be a full moon in every sign of the zodiac every year. There should be, again, I'll say that again, there should be a full moon in every sign of the zodiac every year. So What happens is that there's 13, remember I said there's 13 full moons though, not 12 in a year. In a 365-day period, there's 13 lunar periods in that period. So what happens is that the extra moon carries over. And what happens is that you have 2 full moons in one sign every year. Every year there's a certain sign that's going to have 2 full moons within it. In this particular year, it happens to be the sign of Aquarius. Now this is according to Eastern 13 signs astrology. Remember, in Western astrology, they can't give you this type of information because they don't even know the actual measurements of the constellations. They can't even chart it. And if they can, they're not going to chart it correctly. So they can't tell you if it's truly a blue moon. In order to see, the whole concept of a blue moon, according to astrology, came from the Eastern side of astrology, not from the Western side. You see, so that's why they don't really get into the blue moon and working with it, because it's from the Vedic, Hindu, Egyptian, 13 signs, Eastern mindset of astrology. That's where the concept of a blue moon comes from. And to measure it, you have to measure it based on the actual constellations, not based on the seasons. And Western deals with seasonal astrology. And I can't go into that. You have to watch my other videos to understand that more. So the blue moon is the 13th moon, and it's the 13th moon, and it usually carries into the sign that it started in. As far as like the sign, put it this way, when the year begins, is based on the first full moon, which was last September, marked the beginning. So the 13th full moon is the end, this is the blue moon, because this is the 13th full moon from that point. So this qualifies to be it. Basically, this is the second time that the full moon is happening in Aquarius, to explain it to you. This is the second time that the full moon is happening in Aquarius within a 365-day period, which qualifies this to be a blue moon. That's one thing that qualifies it to be a blue moon. Now, another thing that you can use, or another way that you can use to calculate as to whether or not it's a blue moon, is normally in a season we are supposed to only have 3 full moons, but during a blue moon season we have 4 full moons within a season, and the blue moon is always marked by the 3rd full moon within that season. That's the blue moon. So this is the 3rd full moon within the summer season. We're in the summer, right? This is the 3rd full moon in the summer. We actually have one more coming up. You know what I'm saying? But this is the 3rd full moon within that summer. You know what I'm saying? To mark the end of that season. So that's what's going on with this. So that's basically essentially what's going on with this. That's how you know when you're in a blue moon. It's basically based upon the 13th moon, which goes into the 13th octave. Now let me explain to you what the 13th octave is. On a musical scale, you have different notes. And between the different notes, you have what's called octaves, or different levels to different notes. And there's 12 octaves in between each different musical note. The octaves are different pitches or different tones. So there's 12 octaves. On the 13th octave begins a new note or a new cycle. So the 13th represents the ending and the beginning of a new cycle, based upon the science of shifting and dimensions, octaves in the musical scale. And you can look these things up, you know what I'm saying, on your own or whatever. So what happens is that there's energy available that is not available at any time on the 13th full moon. But what makes it even more amazing is that this full moon is going to happen on the 31st, which is tomorrow, which is the number 13 again. So there's 2 13s encoded, really more than that, encoded within this full moon, which is telling us that this energy out there that's going to be available in the astral plane that we can pull into our aura is going to be an energy that will help us to make the shift from 12 to 13. From 12 to 13. That's what we have to do. We have to make the shift from 12 to 13, because time is changing. Time is speeding up. So we have to resonate to a higher octave. We have to make the shift. And basically, this blue moon is offering us an opportunity to make the shift. The reason why it's called a blue moon is because it came from the Vedic school of thought. And in the Vedic school of thought, Krishna was depicted as blue. He was depicted as blue. And Krishna represented music. Music. Now, why is this important? I just mentioned music to you in relationship to the octaves and the different octaves in between each musical note, going into different dimensions. So the blue moon offers you a time to move yourself, to raise your energy to a different level based upon the music of the universe. You see, the universe is playing music. And I'm going to do a video on this. People hear ringing in their ears. People hear tones in their ears. There are tones that are called ET tones, because there are tones that normally we shouldn't resonate with here on this plane. We shouldn't be able to hear them because the frequency is too high. But some people are in tune with these higher tones, and they hear these frequencies. You see, and the planet emits tones and frequencies. The planets do, not just the planet. Our planet emits tones and frequency too, but not only our planet, but all planets have a tone and an octave. Everything has a tone that's living. You have a tone. If you're watching this video right now, you have a tone. Everything has a tone. And I'll get more into that. I'm going to start doing tone readings for people and stuff, but not now. So don't email me asking me about doing tone readings because I'm too busy right now, but soon. I got a lot of new readings coming soon. Some advanced readings that I'm going to be doing on the site. Like I said, because I'm doing a lot of hiring and stuff like that. So once we speed up the orders and get everybody getting orders within 48 hours, we're going to be introducing a tone reading. And you have the tone. But I bring up tone in relationship to the blue moon for a reason. The planets have different tones and resonate different energies depending on what signs they're in and depending on how they're functioning. So the blue moon has its own tone, is what I'm explaining to you. It has its own special tone. And you're not going to learn this in the books, and you're not going to learn this in school. You know what I'm saying? This is information they're not going to teach you. They're not going to teach you about the blue moon. It has its own musical tone. And you can tap into that tone and raise your frequency. Yes, you can tap into that tone and you can raise your frequency. Now, I know you're wondering, Ram Hotep, how do I do this? This is where the ritual part comes into play at. This is where the ritual part comes into play at. And I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a free ritual right here. First, in astrology, what you want to do is you want to locate the blue moon. We've already done that. We know where the blue moon is taking place and which sign it's taking place in and everything. It's taking place in Aquarius. It's tomorrow. So we know it's tomorrow. So tonight is the best night before the moon starts to wane. The moon is technically still waxing, technically. It's not fully full yet. So while it's still waning, anytime today or tonight, you want to do a blue moon meditation. You want to do a blue moon meditation. It's going to help you to bring in the energies of the blue moon. And it's simple. The blue moon meditation is simple. It's simple. All you have to do is, and of course you're going to have to relax yourself. You want to relax yourself first. Get in the meditation state. Whether you are laying down or sitting in a chair, however you want to do it. You want to put your left hand over your navel and put your right hand over your left hand and sit in that position. You want to close your eyes and begin to breathe and take deep breaths. Now, as you take these deep breaths, you're going to feel yourself become calm. So you want to give yourself about 3 minutes to become calm. Okay, now once you're calm, now do this at about 3 a.m. Keep in mind, you're doing this at about 3 a.m. So now you're calm. 3 a.m. your time, whatever 3 a.m., whenever 3 a.m. is for you. So you're calm and you're serene. So now you want to go ahead and begin to do what's called breathing exercises. And on this moon ritual, to harness the 13 energy, you're going to have a little bit of chi. You're going to have to be able to breathe in for 13 seconds, hold your breath for 13 seconds, and release for 13 seconds. I'm going to give you an example. Okay, that was a 13-second interval of me breathing in for 13 seconds, holding my breath for 13 seconds, and releasing my breath for 13 seconds. That's the moon ritual. That's the blue moon ritual that I want you to do. Now, as you're doing that, I want you to imagine blue. Imagine blue. Imagine a blue moon as you do this meditation. And you can imagine this through your third eye. Your eyes are closed. You're relaxed. You imagine a blue moon as you take in the energy. At 3 a.m., you just take in the energy. Now, how long do you do this for? You do it for at least 13 minutes. At least 13 minutes, but you can go longer than that. But for at least 13 minutes, you want to pull this energy into your aura. Pull it into your aura. That's all you're doing. Just taking it in. Every time you breathe, that's what you're doing. You're imagining that through the blue moon. That's what's happening. On a spiritual level, you're bringing this energy into your aura. The moon energy is out there. It's available. It's all around you. The only thing you're doing is accepting it. As you accept it, you store it in your aura. And what happens is it has magic. It's magic available in that energy. So once it's in your aura, it's going to cause you to begin to shift. Now, things are going to change around you. You're going to start to see things change around you. People, how you look at people, how people look at you. things are going to change. You know what I'm saying? And for the better. But I'm just saying they might not be the same. So if you're scared of change, don't do it. If you want things to stay the same and you want to just be the way you are, don't do this ritual. If you want things to change for the better, when I say for the better, I mean this. You're going to find your life purpose. You're going to get shown what you're supposed to really be doing. You're going to get shown your real problems and what you really need to be working on in your life. You're going to basically get clarity from this to help you to make the shift. That's what's going to happen. If you're scared of that, you shouldn't do this ritual. If you want to stay in the mode that you're in and people just want to stay in their comfort zone and stay in a box, you shouldn't do this ritual. You shouldn't do this ritual because it will work. My rituals work. You know what I'm saying? So it will work. So if you don't want things to change around you, if you want to stay in a box, you should not do this ritual. So that's going to end it for me. That's the Blue Moon ritual. It's on and popping. Basically, it starts tonight. Like I said, do it at 3 a.m. tonight. If you're watching this video, I do want to point this out. If you're watching this video after the blue moon has taken place, you're still lucky because you still have the energy of the blue moon is available to pull into your aura for 2 weeks. So you have up to 2 weeks to pull this energy into your aura. You have up to 2 weeks. You do have up to 2 weeks. So don't feel bad. Like if you're watching this video right now, you're like, I missed the blue moon or full moon. It was yesterday. I missed it, because people are going to freak out. You still have 2 weeks. Now, if you're watching this video 2 weeks after, I'm sorry. There's still rituals you can do during other full moons to do rituals and stuff like that. And I have a website. You know what I'm saying? I have plenty of rituals on there, but I'm sorry you can't do this ritual. It's only once a year, usually. It's only once every blue moon. But that's going to do it for me. That's going to do it for me. Now, I want to point out one other thing before I shut this video down. There's an extra step to this ritual that I couldn't offer it here. I want to offer it here, but I can't offer it here. The reason why I can't offer it here is because it would depend on you knowing where Aquarius is in your natal chart. You would have to know where Aquarius is in your natal chart. And if you want to do this, you can locate Aquarius. If I did a natal, only in the 13 signs natal chart now, keep in mind. Because in Western, they're saying this blue moon is in another sign. You got to keep that in mind. I forgot what sign they're saying it in. I don't follow Western like that. I don't really keep up with the signs that they say that things are in. But I believe they're saying that the blue moon in the Western is in Pisces, I believe. They're saying Pisces. So it's Aquarius, though. It's going to be a different type of energy, a weird type of intellectual, quirky type of energy. You'll see. But it's in Aquarius or whatever, so that's where it's taking place at. But you can find Aquarius in your chart. And if you have a Western chart, I can help you too. You actually can find Pisces in your Western chart. And what you want to do is find either, when I say your chart, I mean your natal chart. You find either Aquarius, or if you have a Western chart, you find Pisces. But if I did your chart and you have a 13 sign chart, you use Aquarius. You locate it. You find out which sign, which house it's in. And basically a house is, like the chart is rounded up into a pie. And you have basically different pieces of the pie. You know what I'm saying? And a house is a piece of the pie. That's all a house is, a particular piece of the pie. So you find out what sign Aquarius is pertaining to the houses. Now, you find Aquarius, it's a wheel. Your chart is like a wheel. You know what I'm saying? And the signs are on the outer cusp of the wheel. The houses are on the inner cusp of the wheel. So you want to find the signs are on the outer ring, not the cusp, excuse me, the outer ring of the wheel. So if you want to find the signs, they're on the outer ring. And this is for any natal chart, whether it's Western or Eastern. So you find Aquarius, you locate it. You find out what house it's in. From there, you go online, or you look online, or you email me, but I'm kind of busy, so I may or may not be able to get with you. But if you can't, if you basically you email me, if you don't get a reply back, go on the internet, Google that particular house, and find out the things that represent that house. I'll go ahead and go through them on this video so that like you'll at least know. If it's in the first house, it represents the self. The second house represents money. The third house represents the mental realm. The fourth house represents your home and your family. The fifth house represents your children and creativity. The sixth house represents your work and health. The seventh house represents your marriage and family, and your marriage, family, and partnerships, mainly. The eighth house represents sex and insurance and credit. The ninth house represents journeys and education. The 10th house represents public standing and corporations and things like that. The 11th house represents friends and goals. The 12th house represents the subconscious mind and meditation. So that's a breakdown of the houses. So now you know basically whatever that house represents according to where Aquarius is in your chart, that's what you want to center your ritual around. That's an extra step. You know what I'm saying? You want to center your ritual around that particular house. that particular house so that you can go deeper. This is to help you go deep. Like if you want like advanced stuff to happen to you, if you want not only, you know what I'm saying, do you want to just shift your consciousness, but you may want to attract something that's ruled by that house. And what happens is that you're going to get it because it's taking place in that house. The full moon or the blue moon is taking place in that house for you. So the chances of you getting it are like really great. So like say for instance, if it takes place in the money house for you, then your chance to get money is really great. If it takes place in the relationship house for you, your potential attracting a soulmate and a twin flame is really great. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you kind of measure it up. And then you can even go deeper than that because like for money, you can do extra rituals to help to attract money. So once you know it's in the money house, there's extra steps that you can do to assure that you attract certain things as far as getting deep into your ritual. You want to like plan, like a ritual is simply you planning out things on the astral realm. You're planning your life out on the astral realm so that it will manifest here on the physical realm. So you want to plan it out as thoroughly as possible. And you want to do that by just having as much occult knowledge as possible. Now, I know a lot of people don't know a lot about the occult, so, you know what I'm saying, in that case, I am offering consultations, you know, for the next couple of weeks for people that did get their natal charts done by me and you want to work with the blue moon energy a lot better. Like I said, you have 2 weeks to do it. So within the next 2 weeks, you can get a consultation from this date. In 2 weeks out, you can get a consultation from me, and I can show you how to work with the blue moon energy better. And you can do that through my website. I do offer spiritual consultations for people that just want to go more deeper into this. But this is a free ritual. I gave you all the information you need right here on this video to do the ritual, even just the meditation part alone. That's all you really need. The extras, like I'm going to do the extra steps only because I'm an astrologer and I know how to fine tune it and tweak it and do extra things to try to manifest on a bigger level. But I'm saying the meditation alone, I promise you, will work. It's a blue moon. It only happens once every blue moon. So take advantage of it. And until we meet again, I'll leave you all in. Peace.